The tutorial will be on the maps portion, and this will be very quick. The whiteboard one takes by far the most time. So random golf course. What I've done is pulled this up and put a couple little pre-filled things in here to save some time. So the main thing is up here in Notes. 99% of the time after you set it up, you're going to be in this Notes tab. And when you do go into Areas, this is where you can mark things. So currently I have green marked here, here, driving range, but I'm going to mark a green in particular. So double click to zoom in, and then you're going to click this polygon icon up here. So once you do that, I'm going to do this super fast. You mark out the green, obviously, try to get as accurate as possible. You then select the part of the golf course and the type that it is. So this will be 8 green, hit save area, and that's 6,967 square feet. And now it has been added to the area's legend. So greens currently we have 0.77. Range is 3.5, and each one will be color-coded. Once you mark a number and a green, and then you come back in here into whole locations, it will show in the whole location portion. And our whole location currently is very rudimentary, just to tell your crew where you want to go. So once you are in the areas, there's also this tool up here that we have where you can hit multi-select and start. And then if you want to just apply products to a couple of greens, you can do that. It'll show you what you've picked and then the total. Obviously, you can mix and match anything you want, but this multi-select up here is specifically to pick areas of the course that you have marked. So if you're a paid subscriber, we will mark with part of the onboarding every single tee green, fairway range, bunker, water hazard, and everything else that you have. And then forever, your numbers and your data is stored in here. So I'm going to go back to Notes. You can click on anywhere you want when you have this thing. You can also, though, pick out a whole area. So you can come up here and say, do this. And then it brings up this. So if you want to do it you can put sand tee. Know that it's 0.6 acres, or we'll say fertilized tee. So now you already know how much you're going to need. You can upload photos to it, and I'm including the include in whiteboard here. So now when you go to save note, you go back to whiteboard. And then in here you have the map notes. So your assistants, your managers, whoever is setting up the whiteboard knows you want this done. They click on it and they can see the data and then mark as complete. Gets eliminated. And then when the maps page does refresh, that pin will go away. So along with this, you can also add whole pins for general notes, disease, irrigation issues. You can input green speeds, firmness, any type of measurement you want. That'll go under the measurements page. Any sort of pest weed. And then you can also do custom maps. So we're just going to say disease, Faria ring, not included in whiteboard. And then when you do first observed and last date observed, you can add pictures, obviously, and then save note. Any pest weed, insect, anything along that line, it will then track the last 5 days of 6 days of weathers and keep an eye out. So if it has a similar weather pattern down the road and you end up bingo, the AI assistant will say, hey, you should keep an eye out on 10T for Faria ring. You reported it and similar weather. It will also by default notify you in 330 days and suggest any sort of preventative application based on products you have in your bin. So what I didn't touch on is, say, you have the map and the first time you log in, it's over here. We usually do take the time to set your map up. We'll come in and say, do this. This button up here in the top right is Save. Now, every time you log in, it will come to this exact view. No matter where you are on the map, you can always hit this button. It'll bring you back to the original, and then My Location is simply for the app and the mobile version so that it knows where you are and zooms in on the map by default when you're out in the field. You have the option of printing out the PDF of any map that you have. You can filter pins. You can see who created them. It'll show you how many they've done, which pins they've done, and you can filter by any type that you want. But currently we have 3 disease. One note, the to-do is now gone because we've gotten rid of that. And then archived pins are pins that have been eliminated due to the calendar. So that's the maps rundown. You can obviously in the maps view click on anything, create pins, create new pins. I'm going to show you real quick while we're here in the admin settings. I put this behind the password wall so that not everyone has access to it. So here you can add new categories. You can see the auto archive notes you can set. So I have almost everything here set to delete after 14 days except the Gopher map. That's 21 days. But then also here in scheduled reports, what you can do, which has been useful for some guys, is like Gopher report. It'll only show the pins you select and it will send it out at 8.